Now we're going to talk about the benefits of sound therapy for adults. So in this segment we're going to talk about hearing, benefits for hearing and benefits for general well-being. So how do you normally talk about the benefits to people?
Well, I speak about the benefits because I actually had the experience of having tinnitus for some time. And I've had it where it felt like it was in one ear and then went into both ears. And having used sound therapy after not knowing what was out there for sound therapy, and how my tinnitus actually started to diminish more and more. And at the 7-month mark, I noticed it was actually going up and down. A lot of people do have more benefits a lot earlier. I seem to have taken a little bit longer, as I had many other conditions as well, which is the hyperacusis. But my tinnitus was gone at 9 months, so it was just wonderful to wake up one day and not have it there. So,
isn't that wonderful?
You're listening out for it and it's not there. So it was an amazing experience. And having worked at sound therapy and a lot of other people having tinnitus and their tinnitus going a lot sooner, I wasn't understanding. But then I actually understood because I had the hyperacusis and my sound sensitivity became less. I wasn't so sensitive to sound. My sleep, it was just incredible to be able to have a full night's sleep, and putting sound therapy on, driving to work and, starting my day with energy. So it helped me in so many other ways than just the tinnitus. So it's an experience that I do bring up with a lot of the customers that I speak to because I had that personal experience. Yeah. So we are all both understanding each other. So
fantastic. That's a really good way to present it, isn't it? When
Absolutely.
You've used it yourself and you can testify that it really worked for you. That's wonderful. Yeah. And you had great benefits yourself. Do you talk about that a lot with customers?
Well, yes, with the blocked ears, and I talk to, strangely enough, I seem to have a lot of consultations with people who have blocked eustachian tubes, and they're particularly bad when they fly. I can relate 100%. And I describe how the blocked eustachian tubes, after 2 years of suffering, it just went like that within a couple of weeks. And I heard the pop, I felt the shift.
So a couple of weeks of sound therapy and it was fixed.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marvellous.
And I fly a lot and have never had a recurrence.
Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. It's not that easy for everybody, I have to say.
It's not, and I don't brag about it because it isn't that easy. And besides which, regardless of the benefits you may receive early on, it's still necessary to keep following the program, a minimum of 3 hours every day, for at least 3 months or longer, ongoing listening.
Absolutely.
Because that's what is the true therapy, regardless of the initial benefits.
Yes. The really interesting thing with sound therapy for adults and for ear problems is that many people with ear problems will have several of the ones we treat, and the ones that sound therapy treats really well are the ones where they generally can't get much help elsewhere. Tinnitus, chronic blocked ear, eustachian tube problems, hyperacusis, which is sound sensitivity, and ear-related dizziness. It's very hard for people to get help for these problems and to have them recognised, and often they feel like nobody understands what they're going through.
Correct.
And they may have several of those problems, and sound therapy really is a great answer for those problems. Now, it does help to improve hearing for some people as well, and that often will happen at the same time.
Yes.
So it's marvellous to have a treatment that's really treating the ear. We're treating the health of the ear, not just the condition. So as the ear gets healthier, many of those conditions will heal, and that's what we explain to them.
Yeah. And it can range from different time frames. I hear people calling in with amazing experience from anywhere from a month to 3 months, and some take a little bit longer. We are all so different, and sound therapy treats everyone differently.
Yes.
At different stages.
And then, some of you as consultants may be thinking, well, I don't have any of these problems, so how can I talk from my own experience? Well, I'm with you. I didn't have any of these problems, and I haven't because I've used sound therapy now for 30 years. So I talk about other people. I talk about my mother. I talk about my staff. I talk about my customers and all of the accounts in the book of amazing recovery that people have had where sound therapy has changed their lives. And also it's good to mention, and I will say this to people who don't have an ear problem, sound therapy is still worth using. And I say it's for anyone who has ears, because I've got
Yeah, I do
ears
too.
and I have benefited though I didn't have an ear problem.
Yes.
Just like we need to go for a walk every day to keep our body healthy, and as we get older we
Absolutely.
realise that. And so we need to exercise our ears every day to keep our brain healthy.
Yeah.
And it's an easy way to do it. Some people love doing crosswords and Sudoku, and learning a musical instrument and learning a language, and those things are great to do. But sound therapy achieves some of those same results without having to do any of those things.
Yes.
We can just put it on and it does it for you.
Absolutely.
And so it's a wonderful companion to have in our lives, isn't it? To
Absolutely.
keep the ear and brain system healthy.
Well, who wouldn't want to look after their auditory system?
Well, exactly.
I say to people, this is the perfect antidote to the 21st century.
Yes.
Very
Because we are surrounded by industrial noise
Mm-hmm.
in our homes, unsuspectingly, out in our environments, and a lot of those natural high-frequency sounds are not as accessible any longer because of those noises. So we need to be thinking about how we can actually optimize. It's sound therapy.
Yes.
Yes,
Get the
that's
most
right.
out of something
Yes.
that will help our whole auditory system.
Yes, it's using
Yeah.
technology to give us what nature has always given
Yeah.
us, but now to intensify it, because that's what we need in this
Yes.
world where we are surrounded by so many negative environmental impacts.
And
Very
let's,
true.
Well, let's not forget the actual stress and anxiety that go with the noisy environments. And quite often we don't even realise we're under that kind of stress, and that the cause is actually noise.
Yes, and people do come to sound therapy too for those reasons, for insomnia, for stress, for anxiety, for depression.
Yes, and I've used it for that reason too.
Yes.
And even
And
though
most
it's been
people do.
some time and I've been with sound therapy for some time, I still listen to sound therapy. It may not be every single day, but every second day for sure, for a number of hours. And I mainly like doing it whilst driving in the car.
Yeah, it's wonderful. isn't
And
it?
I'm still listening to, my radio station while still doing sound therapy.
Yeah.
So it's been an amazing journey, and I
Yes.
still do it.
And I listen to sound therapy too. In fact, I think I might put this on now. I often listen during the day, even when I'm talking to customers on the phone. I find the earphones don't interfere with the telephone, and I often listen when I'm sleeping right through the night. So
Yes.
after 30 years, I'm still loving it and listening most days. Sometimes I might take a break for a couple of weeks, but it's a great thing to have. So it's easy to recommend something when you love it and use it all the time, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I think we've covered that really well. Thank you both so much. We'll wind up the section there on benefits for adults.